Hello everybody and welcome, I am Bricker Boom, and today we're gonna see if we can beat the game Pokemon FireRed with a single Celebi. Now before even starting the run, I'm about 1000% sure that the answer is going to be a resounding yes. It's a legendary Pokemon, and if a first form starter can, I am absolutely sure Celebi can, but due to how Game Freak has had Celebi locked behind special events and things like that, I've never been lucky enough to actually use one. So this is actually brand new territory for me. To take a look at Celebi as a whole, it's got those Muse stats with 100 in every single stat. It's got a unique typing, partly because Psychic is busted in Gen 1, meanwhile the added Grass typing gives it a wide set of weaknesses. Given the fact that we're weak to both flying and fire types, I can see the rival being a big issue, given the fact that, of course, we're going to give him Charmander, and by the time that we're at the end of the game, he'll have both Charizard and Pidgeot. For an ability, we have Natural Cure. From a Nuzlocke perspective, that is incredible. It heals any status problems when being switched. From a solo run perspective, well, it is completely useless. For our nature, we have an Impish nature, which means more defense, less special attack. Honestly, pretty bad, but maybe we can use some tankiness down the road, I'm not 100% sure. For the first rival fight, we take it to half in one hit, get hit with a weak scratch, and then take it down to win an easy battle. The beginning of the game is going to go pretty easy for us overall. We can make our way through the forest without problem, but then we'll go ahead and do the optional rival fight, but we're going to do that first. Most legendaries have been able to take down the optional rival fight without having to level up, and I would assume and kind of hope that Celebi is no different. Pidgey is first, so we take it to half with Confusion and Confuse it, though it does use Sand Attack, and then we can take it down. Next out is Charmander. We use Confusion again, taking it to not quite half. Taking it to not quite half as it uses Scratch, and then we take it to red. Another Scratch connects, and despite the Sand Attack, we land another hit to take it down. Now after that, it is an easy jaunt through the forest, and in time, we can go ahead and face Brock. Now for the first gym, this is probably going to be pretty easy for us. We have a Psychic move, and Rock types tend to have paper-thin special defense. Brock first starts off with Geodude, and we use Confusion, taking it to red as it only sets up Defense Curl before going down. Next out is Onyx, and we use Confusion again, taking it to yellow. Rock Tomb connects and drops our speed, but we still outspeed and take it down next turn. Now, while we have some travel ahead, it's at this time I'd like to say if you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. When I wrote the script, we were actually still waiting on our application for the first step to partner to clear at the time of writing this. But since then, I've actually been accepted into the partner program, which is awesome. We just hit a little over 1,100 subscribers, which was unexpected, but definitely always appreciated. Yeah, that's about all I got. We go ahead and grab the Dome Fossil on the way to Cerulean, and honestly, last thing, I just hope that the new year has been treating you with nothing but kindness. Now we have two options as we go into Cerulean. We can either try to fight Misty or try to fight the rival. Although we don't have a type disadvantage or advantage, we'll try to fight Misty first, mostly just to see what happens. Misty first starts with Staryu, and we open with Confusion, taking it to almost red as it uses Harden, then we take it down. With the Starmie, given the fact that it actually resists our attacks, we Leech Seed at first, getting hit with Swift, but nearly healing back to full. Confusion isn't doing too much, and the added Leech Seed is keeping us healthy. We swap to Ancient Power, and this is when Starmie begins the longest stall game I've ever seen in my life. Pages fly off the calendar, minutes pass by. I'm pretty sure we spend about a full minute on just attacking until it finally gives up on recover. Opts for attacking, and that is the only reason that we end up taking it down. That was exhausting. Hopefully, the rival fight will be a little more kind to us. Ember will do super effective damage, but on the flip side of that, so will we. Pidgeotto is first, so we use Confusion, mostly testing damage, and we can take it below half, then get Sand attacked, but knock it out next turn. Next out is Charmander, we knock it out with a critical hit Confusion. Rattata comes out and is a clean one-shot, and then Abra is useless at this stage, so we can take it down as well to win the battle. And thankfully, much easier than Misty. From there, it's time to go ahead and head to the route to the north. While we're not going to bother focusing on any optional trainers because of, our level and the fact that we're legendary, once we get to the ship, we're only going to focus on a few, grabbing the items that we need. We don't really need to focus on leveling up like we usually do, so after grabbing those items, we go ahead and head to the rival. The rival first starts with Pidgeotto, and we open with Ancient Power, knocking it down in one shot. Next out is Charmeleon, and we continue to use Ancient Power, taking it down in one go as well. As Raticate comes out, we swap to Confusion, and we do get a critical hit, knocking it out in one shot. Last up is Kadabra, and we may have to learn Shadow Ball as it evolves, but for now, Ancient Power is enough to take it down, to win the battle, and let us move on. Now, truthfully, I don't think Surge is going to be any kind of problem. The next big problem will probably be Blaine, but we still have a ways to go till we're there. For now, we defeat the trash can puzzle, and after that, it's time to go ahead and face off against the Lieutenant. Voltorb is first, and we can take it down in one shot. He sends out Pikachu, and we swap over to Ancient Power, knocking it out as well. Last up is Raichu, and we use another Ancient Power, taking it to around half, but actually getting paralyzed off static. I was not aware that Ancient Power was like a contact move, but okay. Then after that, it double teams, we take it out, get the boost, and that wins us the battle. After that, we have some traveling through the cave. This is going to open up the game and give us a good deal of options. I don't think that we'll need too many TMs as we go along. The main one we'll need is Psychic, though I'm going to be honest, we're not going to use it right away. It doesn't have a lot of PP available, and even with the PP ups that we find, we'll probably want to save the Psychic TM until the Elite Four, just to make sure that we're not having to run back to the Pokemon Center every couple of battles. But for now that we're done with the cave, it's time for us to fight Erica. Erica first starts off with Victory Bell, and we open with Confusion, and that takes it down in one shot. Next out is Vileplume, and we take it down to Yellow as it uses Sunspore, paralyzing us, then outspeeding us next turn and using Acid, but we do take it down. Last up is Tangela as it sets up in Green, and Confusion will take it down with a single hit. Alright, let's go ahead and keep this little battle gauntlet going. Giovanni will be one that gets easier as time goes along, given the partial poison typing, but for now, let's take a look at that first battle. Onix is first, so we use Confusion, taking it to red and confusing it. It misses its attack, and we can take it down. Kangaskhan is next. It uses Fake Out, and then we use Leech Seed, since this Pokemon can very easily become a problem. It uses Tail Whip. We use Confusion, taking it to half after the Leech Seed damage. Next turn, we can take it to red as Bite does a little damage, and then it goes down. Finally, it's Rhyhorn, and we can take it to a Sliver with Confusion, and then it goes down to win the battle. Alright, Graveyard Battle time, and then we'll chat. Pidgeotto's first, so we use Ancient Power, taking it down in one shot. Next out is Gyarados, and we use Confusion, taking it a bit below half. And Thrash does a little before it goes down. Next is Charmeleon, and we swap back to Ancient Power. After that, Kadabra is a one-shot, and finally, the Scrambled Eggs, who goes to around half, misses Hypnosis, and then goes down to win us a fairly simple battle. I will take it. Now, to talk about Celebi as a whole while we play some footage here and do some Safari Zone Scramble, obviously it's doing pretty well for itself. Legendary Pokemon tend to do quite well, and adding the Psychic typing on top of that just makes it that much better. My only wish is that we would be able to take advantage of the Grass typing beyond Leech Seed, but by level up, it doesn't learn any other Grass-type moves. Then, the only two TMs it can learn are Giga Drain and Solar Beam, both of which are 5 PP. Granted, so is Ancient Power, but the potential Omni Boost is hard to pass up on. It lets us brute force the game at a little lower level than what we probably normally could. For now, though, we have Koga to fight. I don't think Koga is going to be too difficult. If he hits us with some Poison-type moves, we may go down, depending on how hard it'll hit. For now, though, we'll see how we do. Worst case scenario, we can always go to Silphco and gain some levels that way. I don't think it'll come to that, but let's find out. Koga first starts with Coughing, and we open with Confusion, taking it out with a critical hit. Next up is Muck, a much tankier threat, and we hit it with Confusion, taking it to not quite half and confusing it. It uses Minimize, and we use Confusion again, taking it to a Sliver as it hits itself to finish itself off. After that, we have another Coughing, and we use Confusion, taking it out with a critical hit, but still a one-shot. Finally, it's wheezing, and confusion takes it to about a fifth as it uses smokescreen. Koga does heal up since it's low enough and we miss our attack. We opt for ancient power, wanting to do a little bit of damage before trying confusion. We do miss a few times, but then we take it down to win the battle, and without technically taking any damage. That actually went pretty smoothly, but I am curious if our good luck will last. The rival fight coming up is pretty notorious for being one of the more difficult ones, given the sudden spike in difficulty and levels around this time, but I still want to go ahead and see how we do. Again, worst case scenario, there's plenty of trainers that we can clear out if needed. I just don't want to have to do that. If worse came to worse, for super effective damage, we could even fight the training dojo next to the gym if we wanted to. Pidgeot is first, so we open with Ancient Power, taking it to low yellow as Wing Attack connects. After that, we can take it down. Next up is Gyarados, and we swap over to Confusion, taking about a fifth. It does solid damage with Dragon Rage, so we do Leech Seed it and gain back some HP. We make sure to recover as well, just to get back to full and keep the rival from doing too much damage, and we take it down with Ancient Power and get the Omni Boost. After that, Charizard is a simple one-shot with Ancient Power, and as the eggs come out, we do about a fifth of damage, but get another Omni Boost. So our next Confusion hits hard, it misses, and then we take it down. Last up is Alakazam, and we Leech Seed it as it Calm Minds. After that, it is a bit of a stall battle, given the fact that Alakazam does no recover, but after a while, we do end up taking it down. Once again, that went way better than I thought it would. Given the fact that Charizard could have easily went one of two ways, but after a heal up, it's time to fight Giovanni, and I have a feeling that this will probably be no issue whatsoever. Giovanni starts with Nidorino, and we open with Confusion, taking it down in one shot. Next out is Nidoqueen, and we use Confusion again, taking it to half. Poison Sting does a little and poisons us, but we take it down next shot, or not. We take it to a sliver, and it uses Tail Whip. Then we take it down, but our HP is draining fast. Next out is Kangaskhan, and we use Ancient Power, barely doing anything as it uses Rage. We swap over to Confusion, and just when I remember that we have Recover, it Mega Punches us in the face, and the leftover poison damage knocks us out. The next attempt goes 10 times better since I actually remember my moveset, and we take down Giovanni's team with plenty of HP to spare. Now we can move on to Sabrina, and with any luck it won't be too difficult. The main issue, I think, is going to be the Alakazam, but we also resist all of the moves she has, so let's see what happens, because after Sabrina, we have a very dangerous Blaine fight. Sabrina starts with Kadabra, and we use Ancient Power, taking it down in one go. Venomoth is next, and we use Confusion, taking it to a sliver as Supersonic misses. Sabrina does heal up, and we take it back to red. Another heal up, but this time we get a high roll on the damage and take it down. Mr. Mime is out, and Confusion doesn't do much, as it uses Calm Mind, and we take it to a sliver with Ancient Power. It does use Calm Mind again, but then it just goes down. Alakazam is last, and we use Leech Seed, because Alakazam will probably use Recover as time goes on. Ancient Power does take it to almost red, and our special gets dropped, but then we use Confusion and knock it down to win a surprisingly much easier battle than I would have originally thought. Now, we're heading to Cinnabar, and this is either going to be really easy or really difficult. I think I got very, very lucky with the Bulbasaur run, but let's find out. Blaine first starts with Growlithe, and we open up with Ancient Power, taking it out in one go. Next up is Ponyta, and we use Ancient Power again, taking it to red as Fire Blast misses. Blaine heals up, so we choose Confusion to conserve our Ancient Power PP till Arcanine comes out, and then another Confusion takes it out. Rapidash is next, and we use another Ancient Power, taking it down. Arcanine is last, and given how much our attack has been lowered by Intimidate, we do maybe a quarter, though we do get the Omni Boost, as Fire Blast takes us to half and burns us, so even with the boost, we're still down like 1,000 stages. So we do switch to Confusion. We manage to take it to yellow, but then we go down. This takes about a baker's dozen worth of attempts because Arcanine is just an issue. Getting to Arcanine isn't much of a problem though. We try different moves trying to set up, but eventually we just realize we have to survive the 5 points of Fire Blast. So what we do is we recover every time it lands, And then on the attempt that it misses, we leech seed it to guarantee the chip damage. And finally, we stall it out long enough to be able to take it down to win the battle. I always enjoy getting to play around with different move sets to get the win. That is one thing that as I continue to do more of these challenges, I find myself trying. Granted, I don't attempt all of them on camera, because sometimes it just doesn't work, or in hindsight, I'm like, wow, that's actually a really terrible idea. But if I have a moveset that I know can win the battle, I do like to try and show those attempts. But for now, let's go ahead and fight Giovanni. Giovanni first starts with Rhyhorn, and we use Confusion, taking it to red as it uses Scary Face, and then Giovanni heals up. We take it back to red, then take it down. Nidoqueen is next as we take it to yellow and confuse it, but it body slams us for a little bit of damage before going down. Next out is Nidoking, and we repeat the process, but Thrash does a bit of damage as we take it to yellow and then take it down. Dugtrio is next and uses Slash for a little before we take it to yellow. Earthquake connects for, again, a little, then it goes down. Finally, it's Rhyhorn, and we crit to take it down and move on. Alright, we have one more battle before the Elite Four, so we'll do that, and then we'll talk about the Elite Four as a whole. Hopefully it won't be too bad, but I have been stonewalled by this particular fight many times. The rival sends out Pidgeot, and we use Ancient Power, taking it to yellow as it uses Feather Dance. We swap over to Confusion, hitting it with a crit and knocking it out. Charizard is next, and we swap back to Ancient Power, taking it to not quite half as it uses Scary Face. Flamethrower does connect for good damage, and then we take it down with a crit next turn. Next out is Execute, and we use Recover as it uses Stun Spore. Then we hit it with a weak Ancient Power. This part of the battle takes forever, because we spend every other turn paralyzed, but we do take it down and then take Rhyhorn down. Then, with Gyarados, we Leech Seed it, and it goes down not long after. Alakazam, we swap between Ancient Power and Confusion when it wasn't, disabled, but we do Leech Seed it for passive health, and we do manage to win the battle and move on. Now, as we go into Victory Road, given our level, I have a feeling that we're gonna need some Ancient Power boost to brute through this. Lorelei having Ice-type moves, and us only having one super effective move, yeah, we're gonna need boost to get past that. Bruno's team, that's probably gonna be a Psychic Sweep, with both the Onix and the Fighting types. Agatha will likely be easy enough as long as we don't get outsped too many times by our Ghost types, and then Lance, we're definitely gonna need to get some Omni boost to get past both the Aerodactyl and the Dragonite. Especially since the Aerodactyl can fire back with Ancient Power and get Omni boosts of its own. The final rival fight, that can go one of two ways. We'll either have to one-shot the Charizard, or get the boost, or, if we're incredibly lucky, Fire Blast will miss, but that almost never happens. Let's go ahead and get started. Lorelei is first, we use Ancient Power against the Dugong and get the boost, but then get frozen. We spend a few turns frozen, but then we thaw out and we have to play that healing game and finally get enough HP back to survive a hit and take it out. With Lapras, we are once again playing that healing game, but we do get another boost, and as the berry takes it out of healing range, we could use Return to knock it out. With Slowbro, we use Recover as it uses Calm Mind, and we take it to half as it hits us, then we can take it out. With Jinx, we outspeed and one-shot it, and then with Cloyster, despite it really enjoying using Protect to stall us out, it goes down in a few hits to win us the battle. Now, but be honest, this did take, 6 or 7 attempts. However, I am always more than happy to try and keep trying attempts if I think that I can win at a lower level, rather than relying on leveling up to try and brute force our way through the battle. On to Bruno. Bruno starts with Onix, and we open with Psychic, taking it to 1 HP as Rock Tomb does connect. Bruno does heal up, and we repeat the process, but then take it down next turn. Next out is Hitmonchan, and we use Psychic, taking it to red and lowering its special before knocking it out. Hitmonlee opens up with Mega Kick and hits for solid damage as we take it to red. It misses its next attack, and then we can take it out. Another Onix comes out, and we take it to red as it uses Double Edge for solid damage. We do recover for safety, as Bruno also heals up, and we kind of start that scrimmage again, as we take it to red once more, and it double edges again, but then we take it out. Machamp is last, so we use Psychic, taking it to yellow, as it uses Scary Face, and the berry takes it out of healing. After that, we tank a Cross Chop, and we can take it out for a pretty simple battle. Now, I don't know why, but when I was reading Scary Face this time around, I started thinking of the Mike and Sully montage thing at the beginning of Monsters Inc. when he's training him to be scary. I don't know why that popped in my head, just the scary feet part. Let me know if you're talking about or if I'm just rambling like a fool. It could be both, actually. Now it's on to Agatha, and she starts with Gengar, and we use Psychic, taking it out in one shot. Next out is Arbok, and Psychic takes it out in one go as well. The next Gengar is out, and we take it to red as Sludge Bomb connects, but the berry takes it out of healing range, so we take it down next turn. Golbat is a one-shot with Psychic, and we actually get a level up off of it. And then last up is Haunter, and we do land a critical hit, taking it down and winning the battle. Now, Lance is the last of the Elite Four, and he could absolutely be a problem, so let's take a look, see how we do. Lance starts with Gyarados, and we use Ancient Power, doing about a quarter damage, as it uses Dragon Rage, and a few turns later, we take it down. As the Aerodactyl comes out, we do a bit of damage, and then knock it out with Psychic. We trade attacks with the Dragonite, but we need to stay healthy, but it eventually outspeeds us and just knocks us out. I guess I couldn't depend on the Quick Claw for the entire match. I think that we can win at this particular level. It's just going to take a lot of luck, so, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit here. Against Gyarados, we do use a few Ancient Powers and end up getting the boost, and after that, we do end up taking a few hits, but we make sure to recover to stay healthy, so when we take it out, we still have plenty of HP left. With Aerodactyl, we use our last Ancient Power, then knock it out with Psychic. With Dragonite, the only reason that we end up taking it down is because it whiffs on its Hyper Beam, and that's what allows us to take it out. With the Dragonair, we do end up recovering just to avoid being hurt too much by our own hubris, but honestly, they aren't nearly as big of a threat, so within a few turns, we're able to take them both out as well. One more battle to go. With Pidgeot, we don't take it to quite half, but we do get the boost, and then our next attack takes it to red. The rival does heal up, so we swap over to return, so we have enough PP for Charizard and take it down in a couple hits. Hopefully, Sand Attack doesn't ruin this attempt. With Gyarados, it hits Thrash, and we miss. Then it hits itself, and we land a Psychic. We take it to a Sliver, but it does us a huge favor by just knocking itself out. As Charizard comes out, we swap back to Ancient Power, dealing a healthy chunk of damage as it misses Fire Blast, and we can knock it out. With Alakazam, we swap to Return. It lands a weak Psychic. Then we finish it off with Ancient Power. Rhydon, we swap back to Psychic to take it to red as it uses Scary Face, and the rival heals a few times before it goes down. Then, with Exeggutor, we both miss and begin trading attacks, heal-ups, the same status ailment over and over. We do finally take it down, but you can see we get spent a lot of time getting put to sleep before we take it down to win the run. It felt really good getting to use the Celebi after all these years of not even seeing the game sprite. I had a lot of fun with that run, and next week we'll be going back to another starter and seeing if we can beat the game with Charmander. Spoiler alert, I know we can, but there's a theme going on here. After that, Ashura requested a Metang run in Pokemon Emerald, which I'm more than happy to go ahead and oblige. I do have other suggestions, and I promise I'm getting to them. It just takes a little while because after Generation 3, the games get a lot longer, so I have to record them in small chunks while still making sure to record full game footage for this, then go back, write the script, edit, and it takes a very long time because I still have a 40-plus hour week job to also keep up with. But as always, any suggestions you have, make sure to drop them below and give me some time to get them knocked out. Also, if you haven't noticed, we're partnered now. While we're not quite to the 4,000 watch hours to be a full partner, we're only 800 away from there, but we can receive thanks and super thanks and have memberships, and I did want to go ahead and just briefly address that. While I'm incredibly happy that we have this available, this will never be a YouTube channel blocked behind a paywall. The memberships are great, but honestly, I just want to be able to always provide free content for y'all. I really enjoy doing this, And just you guys watching is more than enough for me. And as we do get monetized on the channel, obviously ads are gonna make it so I get at least some kind of revenue. So never feel like you guys have to pay. It's never gonna be something I charge for. That's why I don't even mention my Patreon all that much anymore, because that's just a way to support me outside of my stream and without YouTube being involved. At the end of the day, always take care of yourself first. But hey, milestones are still worth celebrating, and I am going to try to stream on YouTube at least once a week to also start helping with the watch hours and building more of a streamer base there too. Right now, me and the baby Rhino are doing a Zelda Ocarina of Time entrance randomizer race, and it's about 4 hours in and we've already lost our minds. But as always, Discord, follow, you know the drill by now. But the one thing that hasn't changed is, if you like the video, even if you didn't like the video, hit the like and subscribe button, because it really does help me out. And until next time, everybody, peace out!